All right, guys, time for a quick SoFi stock update. We're going to go over the charts, my thoughts, and how it did today in the midst of an overall red day, pretty nasty red day at that. And SoFi actually held up pretty well. We have a lot to cover, the charts, my thoughts, and some other stocks that I'm looking at. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get your 7 fractional shares for Moomoo of the Mag 7. Those are linked down below. There's a bunch of details. Check it out. Or you can get a 1.5% cash transfer match if you bring over your account to Moomoo for the first time. We'll talk more about that later, guys. Link down below or check out the QR code right here. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure you guys saw indexes got destroyed today, right? Russell down almost 2%, NASDAQ 0.9, almost 1% in the red. In fact, earlier in the day, it was over 1% in the red. The S&P went down 0.7, and we had the Dow go down 1% on the dot, with the VIX up 7%. We had the metals up on the day. If I had to guess, oil was up on the day as well. Yup, about 2% almost. You guys can see that right here. And we had SoFi actually hold up pretty well, which is a really good sign here for the bulls. And the way that we closed on a nice upswing here, you guys can see we were consolidating during power hour, a lot of power hour at about 7:15. And the way that we ripped into close to about 7:20, that's a really good sign. But we have to look at this. SoFi did take the lows out from yesterday. Yesterday we hit about what? 7:12, 7:10 in the morning. We then rallied to about 7:20. That's where we closed. And now in the morning, this morning, we actually broke into the sixes, which is not the best sign. I'm not going to lie. Not the best sign here at all. We'll take a look at some other time frames in a second here. But yeah, we broke into the sixes this morning, guys. Took out the lows from yesterday. But the fact that we rallied and broke over 720 and closed above it to close off the day, that's a good sign. But we're not fully breaking out quite yet, obviously, guys, on this intraday, even though we saw a nice rally in power hour, because look, we closed under the 720 high from earlier in the day, and obviously we're well under the highs from yesterday. So SoFi still has to retake those highs, which if I draw these lines out in the short term, if we do start getting out of here tomorrow back to the mid sevens, that'd be ideal. That'd be awesome, considering we actually have an inverse head and shoulders here as well. So that'd be that playing out, right? I just butchered that. But you guys get the point. Time will tell with that. So keep your eyes at 725. I'll put my alert a little bit above 720. Mark is at or above $7.25. We'll see where it goes from that point. And as we pull the layers back a little bit here on the 5-day, you guys can see how we just took the lows out from the last couple of days. We just broke under 7. Like I said, not the best sign. But here as we go on the 20-day chart, you can see that inverse head and shoulders is still holding on, but it's not looking the best. It's actually starting to tumble a bit as, again, we broke that $7 support. But the bulls are still fighting, so we'll see if we do start pushing again past 725, which my moving averages are right there. So my alert's at 725. Might as well do another one at 750. Mark is at or above. There we go. So, yeah, this is an interesting one here, guys. SoFi is hanging on by a thread, and the reality is we're one little slip up away from being in the mid-sixes like that, which I feel like is pretty insane. Honestly, I think this stock is, whatever it may be, manipulated, underlooked, not appreciated. I mean, obviously, it's not appreciated by Wall Street, or a bunch of Wall Street's not in this stock yet. But I don't know what it is, but it's just getting held down after a pretty great quarter last time they reported, and it just doesn't make sense, right? We were at $9-10 per share, which I feel like that's the value it should be hovering at, or consolidating at. I'm not saying it should go to 15 or 20 or 25 or something crazy like that. That'd be egregiously overvalued, arguably, right now at least. But, it's not a $5 stock. I don't know what's going on. $5 or $6 stock. I don't think it is, which is why I'm going to be buying more, right? As we do, if we do slip and start going to the 640 level, which, mind you, that's the low here from back in November. We'll see. If that breaks, I mean, geez, we might be going to the lower sixes, maybe high fives for all we know at this point, which, again, just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, I think it's manipulated. I understand the business. Obviously, they're doing well, in my opinion. They're, improving. They had a gap profitable quarter. They're going to be more profitable as the years come, right, based on their projections. I don't know what's going on, guys. So for me, I'm looking at this like, all right, I'm going to buy more in the sixes for sure, and we'll see where it goes from that point. And make sure to subscribe because earnings are creeping up here in the end of the month. So about 3-4 weeks from now, earnings are going to be here. And you guessed it, we're going to be breaking down SoFi all the way up to earnings. So, yeah, we'll see. And if these earnings, in my opinion, honestly, at this point, this stock's so beaten down. We'll leave it at this. If these earnings crush it, their guidance is awesome, strong, whatever it may be, this could cause the stock to go haywire, in my opinion, honestly, similar to what we saw, a couple of months ago, last time they reported, or a couple of weeks ago, whatever. Actually, it's been about 2 months. Yeah, either way, we saw the stock go from 750 to 950, essentially. I can see something like that potentially happening again. Not guaranteed. Obviously, trade at your own risk, guys. Please do your own research. Do your own due diligence. Understand trading, all this, investing. There's a lot of risk involved. But, yeah, I feel like this is just way too beaten down. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on that. I don't think it's warranted. Do you? Maybe you do. Maybe you're a SoFi bear watching this video. I'd love to know your thoughts. But, yeah, those are some breakdowns. And, I mean, look, in my opinion, we held pretty well today, at least, in the midst of this red day. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, SoFi could have been down 5 to 10% on a nasty red day like today, but it wasn't. So that's showing that, maybe we're finding some floor here at about $657, hopefully. But it's just too early to tell, to be honest. Let me know your thoughts again in the comments. And we barely had any green stocks today. At least I didn't see any on my watch list. Well, we have DJT that was up. I mean, holy smokes. This thing was down 20% yesterday. Now it's up 6% on the day. So Trump Media and Technology, I'll be covering this one here and there. Of course, with the elections coming up, there's going to be a lot of volume, a lot of movement in this stock. So it's going to be one worth watching pretty much for the next 6 months, in my opinion. And we can see here we are looking pretty decent on the chart. So maybe a rebound, a recovery could be coming here on DJT. We also had, looks like Hershey starting to creep up over $200 per share. That's looking pretty interesting. We can see this has been struggling at about 200, 210 over the past couple of months. If we can get out of there, that'd be a technical breakout on the stock. Let me actually set my alert so I don't forget about it, at $210 per share. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Those are a couple of thoughts on SoFi, some thoughts on some other stocks here. Keep your eyes on Disney as well. This is up on the day, or went up on the day about 1%, looking pretty good, man. I've been buying Disney for quite some time. Heavy buyer under $100, and now it's finally, if I could talk today, looking like it's starting to play out, which is beautiful. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to get your 7 fractional shares for Moomoo of the Mag 7. This deal's a no-brainer, guys. Or if you don't want those 7, fractional shares, you can opt for the other option, a 1.5% cash reward match. Essentially, if you bring your account over to Moomoo for the first time, you get 1.5% of whatever balance you bring over. So let's say I think the limit's $20,000. You bring over an account with $20,000, you get $300 on top of that, right? So the deal's down below, guys, or check out the QR code right here, or go to StockSurfest.com/Moomoo. I'll see you later.